Welcome to Writing Little by Little. I'm Katie, and this is my channel. So, this is my 5th time trying to film my second YouTube video. I have had so many issues, whether it was my camera not syncing to my audio, or I was like holding a drink and that drink kept making noise and I didn't realize it and I didn't like figure that out until afterwards. Or my lovely dog Coda here decided that it was time for us to play with his squeaky toy and had to scrap all of that footage. I also filmed the first time at the wrong angle. I had my camera like up and down versus this way, and that doesn't make for a very good YouTube video. So I had to scrap all of that footage as well, because for me to salvage it, I would have had to like be really, really close up on my face. And I am just not that comfortable with editing all of that. So yeah, no. So the title of this YouTube video is What I Learned from My First Upload. So that was a lot of it. You're supposed to film on your, well, at least for like a phone camera, it needs to be like the long ways. And then if you're gonna film on a camera, it is very, very difficult to sync the external audio with the camera audio, because when you delete or edit clips, you have to essentially like reline up your audio, external audio, with where like it starts again, and it took hours to do that. Pausing and taking time and like knowing what I'm gonna say beforehand, so that way I'm not having all of those brain farts with the ums and the likes and the so's. I did some research on like how to stop doing that, and one of the resources that I found was just to say, like purposely say like, and purposely say so, and purposefully say so that way your brain just like automatically triggers to knowing that you're saying it, and you're more conscious when you're speaking to not say it as much anymore. But as soon as you want to say it, you just whoa, that's not what I wanted. That's just it's a filler word. So I'm just gonna pause and think about what I actually want to say. And in pausing, it definitely makes it easier to edit out, because when you pause, there's the dip in audio, and it's easier to just see and not have to like listen all the way through. So as soon as I see a dip, just cut that portion out and it immediately goes into my next word. And it just makes editing out the filler a lot faster. Like talking through the camera is definitely like something I didn't think was gonna be that hard. But in reviewing a lot of my videos, I realized like how difficult it is to really get that like camera charisma and talk through the camera to you guys. So some of the other things that I learned in my first YouTube video was doing thumbnails. I didn't realize that I had to do them prior to the upload. For some reason I just thought like when you upload YouTube, there'll be like options within like what your title is. It is hard to figure this out, and I know I'm new, so like there's a lot of growing pains in the process of learning. But yeah, it's a headache. This negative part of my brain where it's just like, why does it matter? Why am I putting so much effort into this? How is this gonna pay off? How is this going to help me become who I need to be? I low-key just like almost gave up and didn't post a YouTube video at all. And I really had to like sit down with myself and be like, this is something that I want to do. I know it's gonna be hard, but I just have to do it. You never know who you will influence. You never know what level your work will impact somebody else. To figure out who I wanted my audience to be, obviously I want readers and writers and things like that, but in me talking to this camera, I feel like I'm trying to talk to my middle school and high school self. just wanted to feel like a connection with someone who was passionate about the same things that I was passionate about. Making friends is really hard as an adult, and when you have different hobbies, and sometimes it's hard for those worlds to combine. Like my friends and family who are watching this, like, love you, thank you for supporting me, but I also understand that like this isn't their thing. Like they're not as passionate about this as I am. This is my passion, this is my hobby. My obsession and my love for reading is so much more than how other people show. And I just think that that is a tell sign that this is what I'm meant to do. Like this is, my level of passion has so much to do with just like this is what my calling is. So what got me inspired to write my project December 10th? So December 10th was the date when the idea came to me. That's how I got the title for my project. I don't know what the title of the novel is going to be yet. I'm still figuring that out. But December 10th of 2022, I was at a soccer conference in Germany, which was where I was stationed at, and I had been doing a lot of journaling at the time, and in journaling I was having like really vivid dreams a lot, and I had read the Big Magic book that was talking like how ideas kind of like flow. And yeah, if you haven't read Big Magic, I really recommend it, especially like as a writer and as a creative. It's a really interesting theory on how ideas and inspiration work. It's a little woo-woo, but I really enjoyed the book, and it was what really kickstarted me into like, after I had that dream, it was so vivid and I felt so inspired and excited when I woke up from that dream that I journaled like I think like 5 pages. And when that dream ended, I really wanted to know the rest of the story. Like I was so obsessed, and I've been so obsessed like for so long, and I keep trying to like figure it out. I started university in January, and like I had done my New Year goals, and in my New Year goals I was like, I'm finally going to take the time to develop this story and like actually write it out, because I want to know what this story truly is, and like I want to know where it goes, and I want to know the ending. And the only person that can give me that is me, because I'm the one that had the dream. That's essentially like why I am doing this and like where that idea came from. I am going to write 2,000 words today, and that's the goal, is to write 2,000 words a day. If I hate them, I'll fix them in editing. That's where I'm at. I literally just need to get words on a page at this point, so that way I can finish the first draft, and then I'm gonna go into writing another story in October and November for NaNoWriMo, and I'm gonna just try and like give that my best effort. And then once NaNoWriMo's done, I'm gonna finish out the rest of my fall semester and do my finals and everything. And then over winter break, I'm going to crack down on editing and starting the second draft. And so by January 2027 is when I want to have like the final manuscript. So it will have gone through the first draft by October. The second draft will hopefully be done by, I want to say, May of 2026. And then the third and final rendition of the edits will be done by the spring of 2027. So spring of 2027 is when I want the final manuscript done of Project December 10th. So that is a long time but because like I'm in university, I really want to give this story its best chance. I hope it doesn't suck at the end, but I know the first draft is probably gonna suck, and I need to be okay with that so that way I can push through and just get words onto the page. In my first YouTube video, I started with my introductions and I realized I left out quite a bit. And in the goal of being more transparent, I want to address some things that I left out. So a big thing is like, how am I able to afford being able to like write, go to university full time, and do YouTube? So the reason why I'm able to afford a lot of this was I am 26 years old and I served 7 years in the Army, and I am currently using my GI Bill to pay for my university, and I have full ride, and I also receive a living stipend with my tuition fully covered. That is how I'm able to afford pretty much most of my lifestyle at the moment. Still serving in the National Guard, and I do drill about once a month, and I get like a small check from my drill pay. It's nothing like significant, but because all I'm really doing right now, going to university and writing and like my lifestyle like really isn't that expensive. The place that I am right now is at my parents' house. I actually live in Tucson, but because it's so hot down there right now and I am currently not in classes, I came up north to get out of the heat. And I'm staying with my parents for a few weeks. Thank you for staying this long, and if you liked this video, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe.